Reading Srimad Bhagavatam 4.27.3 Tayopaguddha parirabdha kandaro Raho numantraya apakrasta setanaha Nakala ramho bubude durachayam Divani siddhi pramada parigraha Taya, by the queen, Upaguddha was embraced, Parirabdha, embraced, Kandaraha, shoulders, Rahaha, in a solitary place, Anumantrayi, by joking words, Apakrista, Setanaha, having degraded consciousness, Na, not, Kala Ramhaha, the passing of time, Ubuddhe, was aware of, Turatyayam, impossible to overcome, Diva, day, Nisa, night, Iti, thus, Pramadha, by the woman, Parigraha, captivated. Queen Puranjani embraced the king, and the king also responded by embracing her shoulders. In this way, in a solitary place, they enjoyed joking words. Thus King Puranjan became very much captivated by his beautiful wife and deviated from his good sense. He forgot that the passing of days and night meant that his span of life was being reduced without profits. Please respond. Queen Puranjani embraced the king, and the king also responded by embracing her shoulders. And this way, in a solitary place, they enjoyed joking words. Thus King Puranjan became very much captivated by his beautiful wife and deviated from his good sense. He forgot that the passing of days and nights meant that his span of life was being reduced without profit. Purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The word pramada in this verse is very significant. A beautiful wife is certainly enlivening to her husband, but at the same time is the cause of degradation. The word pramada means enlivening as well as maddening. Generally, a householder does not take the passing of days and nights very seriously. A person in ignorance takes it as the usual course that days come and after days the nights come. This is the law of material nature. But a man in ignorance does not know that when the sun rises early in the morning, it begins to take away the balance of his life. Thus, day after day, the span of one's life is reduced, and forgetting the duty of human life, the foolish man simply remains in the company of his wife and enjoys in a secluded place. Such a condition is called apakrista cetana, or degraded consciousness. Human consciousness should be used for elevation to Krishna consciousness. But when a person is too much attracted to his wife and family affairs, he does not take Krishna consciousness very seriously. He thus becomes degraded, not knowing that he cannot buy back even a second of his life in return for millions of dollars. The greatest loss in life is passing time. Without understanding Krishna, every moment of our lives should be utilized properly, And the proper use of life is to increase devotional service to the Lord. Without devotional service to the Lord, the activities of life become simply a waste of time. Shramam eva he kevalam. Simply by becoming dutiful, we do not make any profit in life, as confirmed in the Srimad Bhagavatam 1-8. Dharmam swanustita pumsam, dharmam swanista pumsam, vivek visvakshena katussuyaha. Not padayat yadiratim shramam eva ekevalam. If after performing one's occupational duty very perfectly, one does not make progress in Krishna consciousness, it should be understood that he has simply wasted his time in useless labor. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnanam Jnanashalakaya Chakshudunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Satpitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swaparandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajim Shatvitam Shavadutam Parijanam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Ischa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shavanu Shuta Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namaram Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Samiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Disatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shri Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you very much for joining in our Srimad Bhagavatam class. Reading 427.3. So you can see how the king and queen, they enjoyed their solitary, I would say, pleasures, and how they became bewildered and they did not know how the time was passing. So this is actually the captivating principle of householder life. The householder life, when the woman is involved, then the senses become bewildered. You know, it says here, Prabhupada says, the purport. At the same time, the cause of degradation. Enlivening to husband, but at the same time is the cause of degradation. So the word pramada means enlivening as well as maddening. So generally a householder does not take the passing of days and night very seriously. So you see how this sex life principle is actually a no-go. It does not help. It gets you become very much, what we say, contaminated. So this point is also explained by King Yayati. King Yayati, he also said the same thing. So we will go and see this in King Yayati's episodes. King Yayati is, the grandfather of Pururava, and Pururava, he's the Puru dynasty, and that's where Krishna took from the Yadu dynasty. Huh? So you see how he was captivated by his wife. So he is saying in this verse, Purvam Varsha Sahasram Me Vishayan Swato Sakrit Taptapi Cha Anu Savanam Trishna Teshu Pajayate. So he says, I have spent a full 1000 years enjoying sense gratification, yet my desire to enjoy such pleasures increases daily. It is not that you go, as they say, that no, you go through this life, after that you can renounce. It doesn't work. You understand? Yes, does it work? Huh? Yes. And he further says, therefore I shall now give up all these desires and meditate upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, free from the dwellings of mental concoction and free from false prestige. I shall wander in the forest. I shall wander in the forest with the animals. See? So how he can give up? Only by getting attracted to the service of the Lord. See? Says, one who knows that material happiness, whether good or bad, in this life or next, on this planet, on the heavenly planet, is temporary and useless. See this point he makes? One who knows that material happiness, whether good or bad, in this life or next, on this planet or in heavenly planet, is temporary and useless. And that an intelligent person should not try to enjoy, even think of such things, is the knower of the self. Such a realized person knows quite well that material happiness is the cause. It is the very cause of continuing material existence and forgetfulness of one's own constitutional position. You see how detrimental this connection is. It practically, bewilders the consciousness. So he says, I want to stop this. Right? How I can stop it? I can only stop it if I come to devotional service. This point is also explained by Yayati. Yayati, he is explaining here. But this point of Pururava. Pururava is also saying the same thing. But Pururava is saying here, can see how he is also saying. He says here, although for many years Pururava had enjoyed sex pleasure in the evening hours, still he was not satiated with such insignificant enjoyment. His mind was so attracted to Urvasi that he did not notice how the nights were coming and going. So that point, he is bewildered, he doesn't know. That's how it is, so contaminating. Says again, King Ailya is another name of him, says, alas, just see the extent of my delusion. This goddess was embracing me and held my neck in a grip. My heart was so polluted by lust that I had no idea how my life was passing. See how this is captivating. The same point Yayati is saying, and who is saying now? Pururava. Not only finished, he is saying some more. So much to say. See, that lady cheated me so much that I did not even see the rising or setting of the sun. Alas, for so many years I passed my days in vain. It is not any gain. It is in what? In vain. Vain means what? Gaining. What? Vain means gaining? What? You see this? Although I was supposed to be a mighty emperor, the crown jewel of all kings on this earth, just see how my bewilderment was rendered me a toy animal in the hands of women. See how his mind, see how they are praying, all these prayers, nobody reads them, Although I was a powerful lord with great opulence, that woman gave me up as if I was no more than an insignificant blade of grass. And still naked without shame, I followed her, crying out to her like a madman. You see how much it is captivating. It is completely, like a madman. It is the same word, madman here. Madman here, you see the word? Unmata. Unmata what? That's now a pramata. All crazy word, I'm sorry, the word is meant for crazy people. So, see, where are my so-called great influence, power and sovereignty? I was like an ass been kicked in the face by his she-ass. I ran after that woman who had already given me up. This is how it is. What is the use of a big education or the practice of austerity and renunciation? What is the use of studying religious scriptures or of living in solitude and silence if after all that one's mind is stolen by a woman? You see how this whole thing is so contaminating. Now you can say, yeah, Prabhu, you always put the woman down, As a woman, this woman very upset, this woman, every time they get the flack. Yeah? Isn't it? The man looks like the angels. And that's a fact. And let us look at how the woman prays. They are also there, both sides, just one side of the coin. Right? You can see here how the woman is praying also. This is both sides of the thing is there. This is a story of Pingala. She was a prostitute. As the night wore on, the prostitute Pingala, who intensely desired money, gradually became morose, and her face dried up. Thus, being filled with anxiety for money and most disappointed, she began to feel a great detachment from her situation, and happiness rose in her mind. So just to, tell a little bit more about her. As the prostitute Pingala stood in the doorway, many men came and went, walking by her house. Her only means of sustenance was prostitution. And therefore she anxiously thought, maybe this man, this one who is coming now is very rich. Oh, he is not stopping. But I am sure someone else will come. Surely this man is going now, he will want to pay me for my love. For this man who is coming now will want to pay me for my love, and he will probably give lots of money. Thus with vain hope she remained leaning against the doorway. Unable to finish her business and go to sleep, and out of anxiety she would sometimes walk out of the street and sometimes she went back into her house. In this way the midnight hour gradually arrived. As the night wore on, the prostitute who was intensely desired money gradually became morose and her face dried up. Thus being filled with anxiety for money and most disappointed, she began to feel a great detachment from her situation and happiness rose in her mind. So see, this is the point. When she became detached, then happiness came. Happiness did not come when she became attached. The prostitute felt disgusted with the material situation and thus became indifferent to it. Indeed, detachment acts like a sword, cutting to pieces the binding network of material hopes and desires. Now please hear from me the song sung by the prostitute in that situation. She also sang a song. Everyone is like singing. Hey, what she sings. O king, just a human being who is bereft of spiritual knowledge never desires to give up his false sense of proprietorship over many material things. Similarly, a person who has not developed detachment never desires to give up the bondage of the material body. See how she has to learn how to become, she became detached. Then everything comes. See, this is exactly the same point that Puranjan is making. The point is, what's the name? Yayati is making. And the point is, who is making? Pururava is making. And now here, who is making now? This point? Pingala. See, they all are speaking about what? What is that? Detachment. Understand? They are not speaking about attachment. They are speaking about what? Detachment. Detachment from sense gratification, and then only you can get attachment to Krishna consciousness. As Krishna says also, no, that in the Bhagavad Gita famous verse, right? You must know, right? You know? You don't know? You don't know. What is the verse? You don't know? This verse you must be in the memory already by now. You know what is that verse? You don't know. Computer you know. C program, D program, A program, every program you know. But this one you don't know. Correct? Yes? What is that verse? What is that verse? What is the verse? Our Pandit? You said yesterday in the dining table, we are Pandit. So what is the verse, Mr. Pandit? I asked you you said, we are Pandit. Jawaharlal Nehru Pandit. So what is Pandit ji saying? This is all bogus Pandit. Nonsense Pandit. The verse is what? Bhogeshwara prashaktanam tayapaharta sedasham vyavasyatmika buddhihi samadav na vidyate. What is that number? I will come back to this. You must know this thing by the back of your hand, This is not something you should come here and sit down and then pretend, Please take some notes. Understand what you're doing here. Simply wasting time. I'm going to speak here and you sit down and then finish. Prabhu will babble a bit. Then after that I'll go and eat something. Isn't that what he's coming for? Then better don't come. What's the use? You come to learn. Yes? Is it? This class means what? Sleeping. What? Take down. What is this verse? You know not? What is this verse? What is this? Bhoga and Aishwarya. Those who are interested in what? Bhoga means what? Before you offer food to Krishna, it's called what? Bhoga. Correct? After it is offered, it's called what? Prasada. So you cannot take bhoga. You can only take what? But here, bhoga and Aishwarya. You want to enjoy the material? Bhoga. Sense gratification. And Aishwarya. Aishwarya means what? Opulences. Yeah. You want to enjoy them. Prashakta means attached to this. Shakta means what? Attachment. Taya praharta setasham. Vyavasyatmika buddhi. Sa mad samadao. Na. No means what? No. Vidyate. In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination of devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. In other words, if you want to enjoy, then you cannot become a devotee. That's difficult. These two things are what? Opposite direction. They are not same direction. They are not what? They what? Opposite direction. They cannot go in the same direction. This is spoken by who? I am coming to this. I have a whole class now. I have to explain. Correct? So you see how this sense gratification and what? Spiritual life, they are opposite direction. They cannot go same direction. The more you get into this, you become bewildered and you lose Krishna consciousness. You understand? How many places this point is explained? The whole Bhagavatam this point is explained. Can you give me some direction? I've spoken this many times. I want to know from you now. Where is the other verses in the Bhagavatam? Where is the other verses in the Bhagavatam that says that you cannot mix oil and water together? Tell me. Don't know. Which verse? Which chapter at least? Never mind the verse. Which chapter? That one is different subject. That one is Kim Asat Karma Bir Bhavat. That one is Asat Karma. Now we are talking about precisely sense enjoyment. So where is it exactly? In sense enjoyment will not flow in with. I give you a clue. 11.3? 11.3.19. Let's go to that. Wealth is a perpetual source of distress. This is talking about wealth. Yes, sense gratification. It is most difficult to acquire and virtual death for the soul. Therefore, what satisfaction does one gain from his wealth? Similarly, how can one enjoy any genuine happiness from those things that are gained or maintained by one's hard-earned money, such as home, children, relatives, domestic animals, since they all are temporary? Actually, I want more precise, my point is precise. Sense gratification does not go. Okay, I give you a clue. It is in 4th canto. Okay, I give you another clue. 4th canto, 22nd chapter. 4:22. What? 4:22? 28. Jai Shri Radha. When the soul exists for sense gratification, he creates different desires, and for that reason he becomes subject to destination. But when one is in the transcendental position, he is no longer interested, Jai Sri Ram, in anything except fulfilling the desires of the Lord. See, the moment he is in spiritual consciousness, he is no more interested in this thing. See? Now there are some more verses here, you can see. A very important point, this chapter you must remember, huh? When one's mind and senses are attracted to sense object for enjoyment, the mind becomes agitated. As a result of continually thinking of sense objects, one's real consciousness almost becomes lost, just like water in the lake that is gradually sucked up by the big grass straws on its bank. Example is given. Lake full of water, but the giant grass growing on the side will suck up and dry up the lake. This is the result of sense gratification. You see this? And then here, this is another important verse. When one deviates from his original consciousness, he loses the capacity to remember his previous position or recognize his present one. When remembrance is lost, all knowledge acquired is based on false foundation. When this occurs, the learned scholars consider the soul is lost. Understand? This is very important. Please remember this. Remember this. This is very important. Alright, this is in 4, 22, 30, 31. Where else it says sense gratification is a no-go?
554.
Huh?
554.
554. Pandit is doing some homework. When a person considers sense gratification the aim of life, he certainly becomes mad. After materialistic living and engage in all kinds of sinful activity. Again, very important point. When you engage in sense gratification, sinful activities become partner. Becomes what? Partner. He does not know that due to his past misdeed, he has already received a body which, although temporary, is the cause of his misery. Actually, the living entity should not have taken on a material body, but he has been awarded the material body for sense gratification. Therefore, I think it is not befitting an intelligent man to involve himself again in the activities of sense gratification, by which he perpetually gets material body one after another.
This is contradictory to the verse of 11, 20, 27.
Now I am going to finish this one. Okay, this one is very important chapter 5. Now we will go to 5, 5, 16. Due to ignorance, the materialistic person does not know anything about his real self-interest, the auspicious path in life. He is simply bound to material enjoyment by lusty desires, and all his plans are made for this purpose. For temporary sense gratification, such a person creates a society of envy, and due to this mentality, he plunges into the ocean of suffering. Such a foolish person does not even know about this. You understand? That means once you get into that, you become what? Bewildered. You cannot see, you cannot understand, you are blinded. Understand? Sense gratification is therefore very, very, very detrimental. Very detrimental. What is the verse? 11, 20, 27. Oh, 27, 28. This verse is about repenting. Having waken up faith in my this is the verse? Having awakened faith in the narrations of my glories, been disgusted with all material activities, knowing that all sense gratification leads to misery, but still been unable to renounce all sense enjoyment, my devotee should remain happy and worship me with great faith and conviction. Even though he sometimes engages in sense enjoyment, my devotee knows that all sense gratification leads to miserable result, and he simply repents such activities. So, okay, we have spoken at length about how sense gratification is very detrimental. Now, he says here that somehow or other we have to connect with the Supreme Lord. Somehow or other we have to take up this Krishna consciousness. Because by Krishna consciousness only we can escape this process of entanglement. You know, even in the royal road you go, there's bound to be accidents. It doesn't mean that you are on the royal road, there will be no accidents. You understand? That's why in the path of sense gratification, either it's legal or illegal, whatever, it's going to have some side effects. You follow that point? So we need to become Krishna conscious to safeguard that. That's why Krishna says here, both the rising and setting, the sun decreases the duration of life of everyone, except one who utilizes the time by discussing topics of the all-good personality of Godhead. You understand? Time destroys the life of everybody, except one who is devoting his time for hearing about Krishna. You understand? So unless you become Krishna conscious, then it is going to become very, very dangerous. You understand? It becomes very, very dangerous. So spiritual life is the solution. It is the solution. You see here, this topic was discussed here. The time factor who causes the transformation of the various material manifestation is another feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anyone who does not know that the time is the same as the Supreme Personality is afraid of the time factor. You understand? You must understand. Krishna also in the Bhagavad Gita is saying in chapter 11, correct? You know? Kalosmi. What number? What number? 11? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kalosmi Lokachaya Krit Pravardho. See that word? Kalo Asmin. I am time. Whose time is that? Time is not something different. It is Krishna's time. See here. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Time I am, the great destroyer of the world, and I have come to destroy all people. With the exception of you, the Pandavas, all the soldiers of here on the both sides will be slain. See, because the Pandavas are devotees, so they have escaped. You understand? So here, he has spoken here. The eternal time factor has no beginning and no end. It is the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the maker of the criminal world. It brings about the end of the phenomenal world. It carries on the work of creation by bringing one individual existence and from another. It's like it dissolved the universe by destroying even the Lord of Death, Yamaraj. You understand? This is the power of time. Krishna further explains. Of course, I just want to go one more verse before this so that you know how the Lord acts, I can give you some idea. Lord Vishnu is here. See, this point is a very important point. No one is dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, nor is anyone his enemy or friend. But he gives inspiration to those who have not forgotten him and destroys those who have. Understand? If you remember him, then yes, you can sail through any problem. But if you don't, that's a big trouble, Yeah? Yeah, it says here, the Lord continues. The personality of Godhead says, as a mass of cloud does not know the powerful influence of the wind, a person engaged in material consciousness does not know the powerful strength of the time factor by which he is being carried. Whatever is produced by the materialist with great pain and labor for so-called happiness, the Supreme Personality as the time factor destroys, and for this reason the conditioned soul laments. Right? See how powerful the Lord is. The misguided materialist does not know that his very body is impermanent and that the attraction for home, land, wealth which are in relation to the body are also temporary. Out of ignorance only he thinks that everything is permanent. That this is all in the chapter. The living entity in whatever species of life he appears finds a particular type of satisfaction in that species and is never averse to being situated in such a condition. So you see how this time factor which is coming from the Lord, it is destroying everybody. Narada Muni has spoken of a physical object made of sharp blades and thunderbolts. The Hayasvas understood this allegory as follows. Eternal time moves very sharply as if made of razors and thunderbolts. Uninterrupted and fully independent, it drives the activities of the entire world. If one does not try to study the eternal element of time, what benefit he can derive from performing temporary material activities? The verse here explains the word Chaura, Pavyam, Swayam, Brahmi, which especially refer to the orbit of eternal time. It is said that time and tide waits for no man, according to the moral instruction of the great politician Chanakya Pandit. Ayusha chanam ekopi na labhya swarna koti bihir na set nyartakam nitihi ka cha hanis tato dikaha. Even a moment of one's lifetime could not be returned in exchange for millions of dollars. Therefore, one should consider how much loss one suffers if he wastes even a moment of his life for nothing. Like an animal not understanding the goal of life, one foolishly thinks that there is no eternity and that his lifespan of 50, 60 or the most 100 years is everything. This is the greatest foolishness. Time is eternal, and the material world one passes through different phases of the eternal life. Time compared herein to a sharp razor. A razor is meant to shave the hair from one's face, but if it's not carefully handled, the razor will cause disaster. One is advised not to create a disaster by misusing his lifetime. One should be extremely careful to utilize the span of his life for spiritual realization or Krishna consciousness. I think I have summed it up, right? So, how we should be very, very what? Cautious. We cannot go on perpetually thinking that I'm all right. As long as we are trapped in this material body, we are not all right. We are what? We are in a sick position. So we need to come back to Krishna consciousness. That's why we should take our life seriously. And Krishna consciousness is the only answer to this material entanglement. There's no other shortcut. There cannot be any shortcut. And there will not be a shortcut. They're not possible. You understand? And you cannot solve this problem by trying to what? It's trying your best. It's not going to work. You can try and try and try. O Great One, O Supreme Lord, because of combination with pleasing and displeasing circumstances, and because of separation from them, one is placed in a most regrettable position within heavenly or hellish planet, as if burning in a fire of lamentation. Although there are many remedies by which to get out of miserable life, any such remedies in the material world are more miserable than the miseries themselves. Therefore, I think that the only remedy is to engage in your service. Kindly instruct me in such service. See? It's spoken by who? Prahlad Maharaj. You try to solve your problem by, all your material arrangement. It will not work. He says here, there, you see, you try, whatever you try. Any such remedy in the material are more miserable than the miseries themselves. It cannot justify it. The only remedy, what is that? Open the mouth and say, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. What is that verse? You may cry like anything. You know the verse? You may cry and cry. In a difficult situation you may cry. That crying will not help you. What is that verse? 21, is it?
11:29.
21?
11:29, 21.
Yeah, 21. This is the point here, see? O Uddhava, greatest of saints, in a dangerous situation an ordinary person cries, becomes fearful and laments. Although such useless emotion do not change the situation. Isn't can help? But activities offered to me without personal motivation, even if they are externally useless, mount to the actual process of religion. See how Krishna is putting it here. Yeah. You try to cry and you're not going to work. You know the situation also will not change. But in this helpless situation, if you say Hare Krishna, even though it seems like they say the doctor now, it's finished, you go pray. The idea is what? You go and he's died already. You go try lah. Your God maybe will understand. It's like this. But in that kind of useless situation, Krishna can change anything. That is the inconceivable power of God.
What if it doesn't change? What if it doesn't change the situation?
And anyway, if you have come to Krishna consciousness, even if you don't change, because you have chanted the name, you are not going to take bodies again. That is the best thing. What's the use of keep taking this crazy body? Why? You have to die again and die again and die again. But if you come to Him and finish, no more death. No more? And just like this now we read, all the Pandavas except the Pandavas, everybody will be killed, correct? Just now we read, right? So all who died, they went back to Godhead. You understand? They all went back to. So I rather go back to Godhead than coming here and saving myself from what? ICU and then ICU again, what for? What for? What is this ICU business? Stop it. I don't want to see you. That should be our motive. What? You want to see? You want to keep seeing you?
IDC.
What?
I don't want to see it.
I don't want to see you. IDU. What is another unit? What is this IDU? I died. So please try to understand. Our objective is different. Our objective is to put an end to nonsense. Understand? And this nonsense will be perpetuated in what? Family entanglement. And unless the both wife and husband are extremely Krishna consciousness, then there is some chance. Yes?
Sense gratification and it's synonymous with household life.
So there is regulated sense, reconcile. Just now you show me that version.
No, yeah. See, you cannot say that as householders we totally stop sense gratification. As householders, sense gratification cannot be done because we are forced to be in that situation or we choose ourselves to be in the situation. So, what is to be done for that?
What to be done? I'm going to show you a prayer by the devotees who are praying to Lord Narasimhadev. This is the prayer by the Narasimhadev devotees, they are praying to him. Therefore, demons, give up the so-called happiness of family life and simply take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Narasimhadev, which are the actual shelter of fearlessness. Entanglement in family life is the root cause of material attachment. Indefectible desires, moroseness, anger, despair, fear and desire for false prestige, all of which result in repetition, birth and death. Yeah, I'm talking to the demons, Prahlad. His father asked him, what is the best thing you learned, Prahlad? His father very lovingly asked him, what is the best thing you learned, Prahlad? You know what the boy said? You know the verse, right? You know the verse? Vannam. What is that? What's the beginning line of that? 7? Yeah, 7, 6. 7, 6, 7, 5? 7, 5, 5. The father lovingly asked him, Prahlad, tell me what is the best subject you learn in school? And this guy, Prahlad, you see, after the father heard this, he threw him out of this lab. So angry. This is the verse he said. Tat sadhumanye asuravarya dehinam sada samudvignadiyam asatkrahat hitva atmapatam graham andakupam vannam gato yadarim ashriyata. He told his father, you get out now, you go home, go to the forest. Prahlad Maharaj replied, oh, best of the Asura, king of the... He didn't call him father, he called him best of the demons. As far as I have learned from my spiritual master, any person who has accepted the temporary body and temporary household life is certainly embarrassed by anxiety because of having fallen in the dark well, where there is no water but only suffering. One should give up this position and go to the forest. More clearly, one should go to Vrindavan, where only Krishna consciousness is prevalent and should thus take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now the solution for this problem is this. This is the solution. Those who are engaged in auspicious activities in devotional service certainly understand that the ultimate enjoyer or beneficiary of all activities is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, when one acts, he offers the result to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and passes life always in topics of the Lord. Even though such person may be participating in family life, he is not affected by the results of his action. So your idea is to be an ideal householder in Krishna consciousness. That is the safeguard. Huh?
This not means that I can work and do something.
Yes, you have to follow the guideline given by the spiritual master. You understand? The spiritual master has laid out the rules and you follow that. As you follow the morning program, you follow some service that is given, then you should be protected. It is stated here, I am sure you have known this verse, no? Sometimes it is found among exalted personalities like Lord Brahma that the wife and children are not cause of bondage. On the contrary, the wife actually helps further spiritual life and liberation. Nonetheless, most people are born by the knots of marital relationship and constantly they forget their relationship with Krishna. This is the point. You cannot forget your relationship with Krishna. Because family life is there. Practically everybody, I see here, all are family men. So maybe 1, 2, You also, all family, right? You all family men, except 1, 2, 3 of us here. That's majority. The majority wins. Majority vote, yeah? No? Follow the masses. So the idea is that the system is those who are renounced, they are supposed to help. You understand? That you take association of those who are renounced. You don't take association of those who are not renounced. And that is detrimental. If you take association and then by associating and serving, that's why the ashram of Grahastha is supposed to serve the 3 other ashrams. Yes? Is there anything written that all the 3 ashrams are to serve this household ashram? Yeah, they serve. How they serve? They come to the house and take the what? The offering charity. Understand? The duty of the householder is to give to charity to the renounced personalities so that they can use that for Krishna's service, and by doing that you benefit. You understand? If you play along this line, there should be no problem. But if you try to make your life perfect in the materialistic consciousness, then it is going to be disaster. This is how a person thinks. There is another verse, I show you. I think it is 5.5. What? Give me a minute. This is how you should practice your life. Those who are interested in reviving Krishna consciousness and increasing in love for Godhead do not like to do anything that is not related to Krishna. They are not interested in mingling with people who are busy maintaining their bodies, eating, sleeping and mating and defending. They are not attached to their homes, although they may be householders. Nor are they attached to wives, children, friends or wealth. At the same time, they are not indifferent to the execution of their duty. Such people are interested in collecting only enough money to keep the body and soul together.
Only enough was
What?
$1 million.
That's why you need association of the devotees. The temple is a crucial factor in keeping the link. If you break away, then where's the limit? Yes? That's why Prabhupada advised all the householders to stay as close to the temple as possible, associate with the devotees. It's a saving grace. If you drift out, then I don't know, what to say. Anyway, I'm not fighting with you. You householders are very important also. At the same time, they should be helped. Yes, Panditji? Pandit? No? No, Pandit. You have resigned from Panditji.
Became Pandit.
Apandita. Alright, so any questions, anything else?
424. 424, 66 is similar verse of time. 424, 66.
424 what?
66.
424?
66.
66. My dear Lord, all living entities within this material world are mad after planning for things and they are always busy with the desire to do this or that. This is due to uncontrollable greed. The greed for material enjoyment is always existing in the living entity. But your Lordship is always alert and in due course of time you strike him just as a snake seizes a mouse and very easily swallows him. Because it doesn't work. Anything from the reality of Krishna consciousness is but an illusion. So if you try to make that illusion reality, then it's not going to work. The reality is that we are what? Eternally what? Huh? What? We are eternally what? We are eternally what? Seven of the senses? What? Seven of the wife? What? We are eternally seven of who? God, Krishna, not, please. I thought you said something else. Huh? Oh, Krishna, very good. Where is it said? I don't know, Prabhu, I only know in my heart, is it? Right? What is that verse? Bhagavad, Shishi. Jivere Swarupa Hoy. Krishna Re Nitya Das. 108. I think what? What 108? Huh?
20.
20, eh? Oh.
20. F4, F4.
Yeah. जीवेरे स्वरूप होय कृष्णेरे नित्य दास कृष्णेरे तथाच शक्ति वेदा वेद प्रकाश सूर्यांश किरण यची अग्निज्वाल चया स्वाभाविक कृष्णेरे तीन प्रकार शक्ति हया. It is the living entity's constitutional position to be an eternal servant of Krishna. Because he is the marginal energy of Krishna and manifestation simultaneously one with and different from the Lord. Like a molecule particle of sunshine or fire, Krishna has three varieties of energy. So the point is this, the living entity's constitutional position is to be an eternal servant of Krishna. Cannot change that. In the Bhagavad Gita, it's also said this. You know? You know? You know in the Bhagavad Gita, it is also said, where? Pandit? How come a Pandit is not very active today? What? 15? Give you another clue. 15? 15 what? Prasadam verse. What? Prasadam verse. 15 what? Palam patram pushpam palam toyam. What? What? What is that? Yeah? 15 what? Mamayangsho jivaloke jivabhuta sanatana manaha sastrendriyani prakritistana kushtati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Finish. You are part of the Lord. You are not independent of the Lord. Understand? You cannot, the part cannot be the whole. Of course, in the Bhagavatam also is there, so many verses. So you have to learn. Any other questions? No more questions? Yeah? Yeah?
11, 29, 21.
11, 29?
21. When you are saying that there is something called without personal motivation, we have to devote to Krishna.
It doesn't matter now whether you got motivation or no motivation, you surrender first. And eventually you will become unmotivated. It is not very easy to go to the Lord without motive. Initially you are going always, like there's 4 kinds of people surrender, right? What is that verse? 7? What? 7 what? 7-11, sure. 7-15 now. 16. No, 16. So these are the 4 kinds of people surrender. Chaturvida bhajante mam janaha sukirtino arjuna arto jikyasu artha arti jnani cha bharata shibha. So initially you will have motivation like this. For obese among the Bharatas, 4 kinds of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me. The distress. That means what? He wants something. Help me, my dear Lord. Correct? The desire of wealth. He wants some money. Also wants something. Then the inquisitive. He wants knowledge. Correct? And who is searching for knowledge, the absolute truth. Inquisitive and the one who is searching for knowledge, wise man. So there are 4 kinds of people, they all want something. But among all this, the wise man is the best. Understand? Then by doing it, then eventually you don't want anymore. Just like, what's his name, the story of who? Story of who? What? Prahlad? Come on, you must know. Story of who? He went to the forest looking for some. Ah, what's the number?
2242.
Here he says, very nice words, huh? You can see. Sthana bilasi taposisitoyam tvam praptapam deva munindra guhyam. This word, huh? Kacham. Kacham means what? Huh? Glass. Kacha. Kacha. See, they think that glass was invented only now. They think like that. Even glass is used, the word glass is used when? Millions of years ago. So they don't know about glass. Only you came recently, you invented glass. See this word? Kacham vichenvanapi divya ratnam. What is divya ratnam? Jewel. Swami kritartosmin varam na ache. Varam is what? Boon, benediction. Na ache. See, Sanskrit is simple, huh? You can understand. So you see here, when he was being blessed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dhruva Maharaj said, "Oh my Lord, because I was seeking an opulent material position, I was performing severe types of penance and austerity. Now I have gotten you, who are very difficult for the great demigod, saintly person and kings to attain. I was searching after a piece of glass, but instead I have found a most valuable jewel. Therefore I am so satisfied that I do not wish to ask any benediction from you." This is the purification of the heart. Understand? So you come here and ask everything. Please, what is that verse? Huh? You ask everything, what is that? 3, 10, 3, huh? 3, 10. 2, huh? Yeah, 2, 3, 10. Yeah, see this verse? Whether you have desire, no desire. Akama means no desire. Sarva kama means full of desire. Va, moksha kama, or you want to get moksham. Some people come here, I want to get out, I want to get out, I want to get out. You know? Udaradi, somebody who has got good intelligence, broader intelligence. Tivrena bhakti yogena yajate purusham param. Tivrena means with strong force. It says Tivrena means with, see the word, with great force. What is this verse? This verse means this. A person who has broader intelligence, whether he be full of material desire, without any material desire, desiring liberation, must by all means worship the Supreme Whole, the personality of. So whatever you have, never mind, you come and surrender. It takes time. It's not that today you come and tomorrow you become Narada Muni, you know. What? And then you carry one veena with coping, you walking on the road. You be arrested. Don't try. Understand? It's have to be gradual. It's have to be. Alright. Let's stop here then. Anything else? Okay. Finish.